Alright guys, the Galaxy S7 came out exactly 2 months ago to this day, and I would say this phone now is better than when it came out 2 months ago because of the software updates and stuff that came out. And a little disclaimer, this is actually my dad's phone, but he hasn't really used it that much because he usually uses it for phone calls and texts because he's not that tech savvy. So this is basically as if you were buying it straight from the store. So from him owning it, he actually, and for me using it as well, there's no screen burn-in on it. There's nothing wrong with the screen that we have seen. I put a white background on it, everything. There's literally no burn-in at all. Even though it has an AMOLED panel, you have to keep that in mind because AMOLED, causes burn-in, and there's no burn-in on the screen. Since we purchased this phone, we have received several Android updates fixing, there was a little bit of lag that happened time using it. But since these updates, it's pretty solid now. There's still a little bit of heating issues when you're playing games and stuff. But other than that, there's really no other issues software-wise. Other than the TouchWiz thing, I prefer stock Android. TouchWiz will do, I guess. The coolest thing I like about it is that when the screen is off, you're able to see all of these cool new features that the phone has. Example, the calendar, and also the cool little planet things where they change colors and stuff. I like how the calendar moves and the planets move every so often because that will help not to put burn-in on the screen. So that's pretty sweet. Performance since us owning this phone has been intact. Like I said, he doesn't really download many apps, but I've downloaded a few apps on it just to see what it can handle, and it honestly hasn't lagged that much. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's pretty much future proof. My LG G2 has 2 gigabytes of RAM, and that's still kind of holding up to my standards. Battery life has been pretty awesome for him because he's not that heavy of a user. It all comes back to how much you're using it. If you're using your phone a lot, yes, your phone will die. But if your phone, like my dad and me also, I don't use my phone that much in a day, his battery life usually lasts him at least a day, if not more. The weird thing though is that multitasking and opening apps is pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth both ways, whether you're multitasking opening apps or if you're opening apps from just the app drawer. But the weird thing is when you're closing apps, there's a little bit of a delay. It's kind of hard to note on the camera, like when I'm recording it, but it's just note that when you're closing apps, it takes like an extra half a second or two just to close the apps. I don't know if this is because it's Quad HD and there's too many pixels to push, but maybe this can be fixed with a software update in the future. I'm not really sure, but just keep that in mind. Gaming also is perfect on this phone. I had ran into no problems, nothing, everything runs smooth except the heating issue that I explained earlier in this video. Of course, I think with any phone there's going to be heating, but this phone just seems to be a little bit more than the average phone, I would say. I've had other Android phones. I played with the Nexus 6P as well. I gamed on that. That one gets hot as well, but not as much as this, which is weird because the Nexus 6P was metal and this phone is plastic. Battery drain, like I said, is not a big deal. So if you're getting this phone for battery, it does have a 3000 milliamp hour battery. So this phone will honestly hold up in battery for a little bit. And it also has that SD card slot, which is wicked because you can expand it. It doesn't have a removable battery, so you can't buy third-party batteries that are like 5,000 milliamp hours or stuff that you could buy for the Galaxy S5, the Note 4, and Note 3, and all those phones. So that's kind of a bummer. Camera is still perfect on this phone. It's beautiful, takes beautiful shots. I like how Samsung made a statement when it came out that more megapixels, and everyone says this, more megapixels doesn't necessarily mean a better camera. The S6 had more megapixels, but it wasn't a better camera. So photo quality is still awesome. A weird thing is that because this phone is running TouchWiz, you have this weird like flipboard thing. I don't know what it is, like the magazine thing when you scroll all the way to the left. Of course, you can put on a new launcher and stuff, but for my dad, he liked a stock launcher with the big apps and stuff. So he just kind of preferred that, but it's kind of annoying that you have to have that flipboard thing on the side. And also, Samsung TouchWiz comes with its own type of problems. You have to wait a little bit longer for software updates and stuff, which isn't really an issue for most people. But if you're coming from a Nexus device, it does become kind of annoying. This phone is also probably going to get Android N anytime soon once that releases. It's on Android M right now, 6.0. It's on the same Android version since it was released, but it has gotten several updates, like I said. So the bottom line is, if you're willing to spend how expensive this phone is, I think we got a 200 with a 2-year contract. So if you guys are willing to spend that much money on it, I would say go for it. It's a rock solid phone. But if you're choosing whether this phone or the Nexus or any other phone, I would choose the Nexus 6P. That phone is just, I would say it's a little bit less expensive and it's more future proof. and it's beautiful, and it has front-facing speakers. But either way you go, you can't go wrong with the Galaxy S7. If you guys like this video, please subscribe. You guys don't know what it means to me when I get that notification that someone subscribed to me. Like literally, like I'm so small YouTube channel. I have 222 subscribers, I think, and literally whenever I get a notification that someone subscribed, I feel so amazing. I'm like, oh my god, someone else likes my work too, you know. So like this video if you liked it. I'll try to make more videos like this in the future. Check out my last couple of videos, they've been pretty dope. And hopefully, oh, and comment if you guys have any questions. Comment if you guys want me to do a Nexus 6P type of review after 2 months, like this type of video. And add me on Snapchat as well. That is @SimpleAlpaca. That is in the description. And message me if you guys want to. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.